I worry in this game that Mahomes is going to have to just play on a god level for them to have a shot to win this game.
It's that football show here on KC Sports Network. Tucker Franklin hanging out with Matt Verderame on your Friday edition of that football show. Thank you to our partners, Ben Holiday, Ball and Bond, Bourbon, and Holiday Distillery for getting us set up right for another weekend of football. Matt, how you doing? How are things?
Things are good. Things are good. Heading up to Green Bay right after we record this to go cover Packers Commanders for SI, and then driving back. There's a hotel in Green Bay. It's like $900. So, yeah, that's right. That's right. So, 3 hours up, 3 hours back, at home at about 3:30 in the morning, call it a day.
Wow. So, yes, we're not going to talk about the Thursday Night Football game, obviously, on this podcast because Matt is going to be there. And we will not talk about that game, but we will talk about Chiefs-Eagles and everything going into this Sunday slate of games as Week 2 is here. Week 2 is here. The Chiefs will take on the Eagles. They'll host the Eagles in a primetime afternoon game. That, Matt, is the only game on Fox in the late window. Like a national televised, the Fox primetime game, Philadelphia at Kansas City. I believe you have the A-team on it. Yep, Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady will be on the call for that one as well. So, big game. Obviously, the Super Bowl rematch. That's going to be the big headliner. The Chiefs coming off of a tough one. I guess just first thoughts going into this matchup here. As we've kind of heard the teams talk, the Eagles have some, I think Adoree Jackson plans to be their starter at cornerback 2 there for the Eagles defense. Yep. Thoughts into this matchup?
I mean, look, it's going to be a challenging one. I'm assuming Xavier Worthy's not playing.
Yes.
He's not on IR. Look, the good news is he's not apparently like really hurt.
Yeah. Which,
when that happened, it looked like he might be out for a long time. So that's good. But I would imagine he's not playing this week. And Jalen Royals, it was not a practice Wednesday. We'll see how that goes.
Correct.
There's a real world that their receivers are Juju and Thornton and Hollywood Brown and whatever is left of Travis Kelce. And it's like, I worry in this game that Mahomes is going to have to just play on a god level for them to have a shot to win this game.
Yeah.
Because I just don't know if they have any offense. Like they don't run the ball. But we'll get to that in a second. Look,
yeah.
I think the matchup here is going to be the Chiefs. The Chiefs have to play really well around Mahomes to win this game. This can't just be one of these games like it was with the Chargers where Mahomes is superhuman for 2.5 quarters. And the rest of the team just, by and large, is either average or stinks. And they win this game. Like, look, I think, it's funny. If you look at Twitter, all these Philly fans I see, they all think they're going to lose this game.
Huh.
Every Chiefs fan thinks they're going to lose this game. So it's like a battle of who can lose more. It's two teams that were in the Super Bowl a year ago. And I'm sure be back in the playoffs. But it's, Philly did not play well week 1. Philly was really lucky to beat Dallas. Now, I'd imagine because Brown and Devonta Smith did nothing in that game, they're going to get a lot more targets. They're going to get them going. And that becomes a question for me on the other side of the ball is like, are the Chiefs going to do this crap with Jamari Conner where they jam him inside and they're just like, all right, good luck to you. Like, because if they do that, this is going to be a long afternoon trying to stop the pass. I mean, it's just Jamari Conner can't cover these guys one-on-one. He cannot do it. So, look, I think the Chiefs will bottle up the run just within reason against Barkley because I think that's going to be the emphasis. But I also think they're going to have to blitz to get home. And to be fair, a couple of years ago when they played them in the regular season, they got home a lot blitzing him. Like they were really successful. They played very well that night. Mm-hmm. And if I'm the Chiefs, I'd probably do it again. I would just go after him. But if the Chiefs are going to sit there with Jamari Conner in man coverage and Nick Bolton in man coverage, like you're just begging to get absolutely torched. I think the Chiefs can win this football game.
Yeah.
But I also think like they're gonna have to play really good football. This can't be one of these games where they come out flat and they're half asleep and then they kind of get going in the middle of the second quarter. That didn't work even against the Chargers. Well, the Chargers aren't as good as the Eagles.
Let's stick on that side, on the offensive side of the ball. Chiefs when the Chiefs have the ball, I should say, because we talked about this when on our show for Monday that the Eagles defense didn't really look that good. against the Cowboys. Now, I think the Cowboys do have a pretty solid offense. I think that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think the Cowboys have a good, competent offense. Did you see they're bringing in like Zadarius? No, the Zadarius Smith signed with the Eagles.
Yes.
They're bringing in Jadeveon Clowney. It's only if only they had another pass rusher, Matt. The Cowboys. They could.
Well, apparently they're not going to sign him.
Okay.
He visited, but they're like, "Now we're right."
But anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Back to the Eagles defense. There's a lot of new faces on this Eagles defense. I mean, they lost Milton Williams, they lost James Bradbury, Darius Slay, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Josh Sweats in Arizona, Brandon Graham's. He retired. He ended up retiring.
Retired.
Oren Burks plays for the Bengals. That's not going to move the needle a whole lot. Isaiah Rodgers plays for the Vikings right now. So they've got a lot of new faces on this defense. And I do think that, like, the defensive unit for the Eagles, while I think they stepped up when they needed to against the Cowboys also helped them out a whole lot by not catching passes. So I think that this could be an interesting thing. Obviously, they didn't have Jalen Carter, who does serve his one-game suspension with that NFL ruling that came out, I believe, on Wednesday.
Yes.
When that ruling came out. I want to get your thoughts on that. But thoughts on the Eagles' defense against this Chiefs now revamped offensive line, but they got a still good defensive front.
Look, I mean, you can throw the ball on them from the standpoint that their safeties aren't awesome, and Adoree Jackson gave up more yards than any other corner in football week 1.
He did, yep.
Adoree Jackson was annihilated in that game. Like, you can just go at him. DeJean's very good inside in the slot, and Mitchell's very good on the outside. So that's now. Look, I wrote in my Friday column. By the time this goes out, will already be up. The Verderam's verdicts, which I did not name it that. My editor did, but I'll take the alliteration. Sure, what the hell? But basically, the column is breaking down the best games of the week and kind of giving you an idea of like what I think is going to determine the game. What I wrote about in the Chiefs Eagles game was the Chiefs have to be able to run the football in this game.
Yeah,
like if you're going to sit there and let Jalen Carter just tee off on Kingsley all afternoon, Patrick Mahomes is going to have a lot of grass stains.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you need to slow them down. You've got to be able to run the ball. And, quite frankly, the Chiefs should be able to run the ball with this offensive line. And to that point, I'm going to suggest that they do something I know they're not going to do, but they should. They should get Mahomes under center in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Get him under center and have a traditional run game. Run the football. And here's the second thing I would do that I know they really won't do this. I'd play Brashard Smith in this game. I'd get some speed on the field, and I'd be like, here it comes. I'd also use Smith as a guy who I'd split out wide. Who are you going to guard him with? Is it going to be Reed Blankenship in one-on-one coverage? Who's guarding him? Zach Bond going to split out wide? Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You got to do something. Jahad Campbell? Like, who's getting him? Maybe it'd be Campbell. Maybe you get rookie on rookie. But if I'm the Chiefs, I am forcing the Eagles to play in a way that they're probably not expecting to have to play this game.
Yeah.
It reminds me years ago when they played the Bucs on a Sunday night game in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
They were coming off that Colts game that Sky Moore muffed like 9 punts in. And
yes.
That's Sky Moore.
We did it 8 minutes in.
We're going to need to pick up Mac Jones, apparently, but that's neither here nor there. So they come off that game, they go to Tampa. And it's the first time they played Tampa since that debacle in the Super Bowl, right?
Yep.
And I remember looking at that game, the Chiefs were dogs in that game. Might have literally been 1.5. Maybe it was 2.5. It was in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking to myself, like, I don't know what they're going to do with Tampa Bay's front. Like, that front is so damn good. And Tampa was killing teams the first month of that season.
Yeah.
The Chiefs lined up and ran the ball down their throat all night with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They just lined up and were like, here it comes. Do something about it. And I really think in this game for the Chiefs, if Mahomes throws for 400 yards in this game, that might not be a good thing. That might mean you're giving up 38 points and like you're throwing nonstop. You need to take pressure off of the line. You need to take pressure off give these receivers some space. They're going to need it.
Yeah.
Like, create some space. I had somebody ask me a question on my own pod the other day that I thought was really interesting. I thought it was a good question. They're like, why wouldn't you watch the Bills and the Lions, although the Lions week 1 wouldn't be a good example, like the Bills and the Ravens? Like, why is it that, like, when they throw the ball, there's space and there's just never space for the Chiefs? And the answer to me is really simple, because nobody respects the Chiefs running the ball.
100%.
They respect Detroit and Buffalo and Philly and Baltimore running the football.
Yep.
But, there's no room for the Chiefs receivers because you're just going to drop 7. Do it. Beat me. You're not going to run the ball with what? Kareem Hunt? Go ahead and do it. I think the Chiefs have to run the football in this game and back them off a little bit.
Yeah.
And then that will create room for Thornton down the field. That will create room for those crossers. But you don't have any of that if you're never running the football.
Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco combined for 10 carries.
10 carries.
In the game. And I know that there's a lot of blame that does go to the play callers, to Andy Reid, to Matt Nagy for. It's not like they were so far behind in that game where they couldn't run the ball, right? Like that's the other thing.
Right.
Is that, and also when they were behind 10 points, that was so early in the game. You can still run the ball. There's so much time left. And I know that there does deserve to be a lot of critique to Andy Reid in calling run plays. He did it with Brian Westbrook, right? Like he never called run plays when he had Brian Westbrook back there. Like that's a frustration. I totally understand that. I get people's understanding, but they also have a running back room that has basically an RB2 and an RB3.5 in it. So, like, that's also the other part of it where I understand their hesitation to call run plays when they have guys that, look, let's be frank here. I talked about this on the stream this week. Running backs do matter. I don't know why we tried to let the nerds tell us that they didn't matter. Running backs matter. Saquon matters. Derrick Henry matters. Like, those guys, James Cook matters. Like
Kyron Williams matters. He's like the 12th best back in football, and he matters.
They all matter. And that's the thing is like the Chiefs don't have a running back that matters right now, Matt. And that's the problem. That's the frustration. So I know that Andy Reid doesn't call a lot of run plays and doesn't really run the ball a whole lot. He needs to, because to your point, you're 100% right. The offensive line feels more comfortable in run plays. This offensive line is a pretty darn good run blocking offensive line, truthfully, and they just don't run the football. It also keeps the Eagles on their heels, their defensive line that is going to be an absolute menace, I'm sure, to these guys in the pass rush game. It's going to keep them on their heels because they can't just pin their ears back. Like that, it makes so much more sense, but I'm not going to absolutely kill Andy Reid because he doesn't have a lot of running backs that make plays back there. Like that's the thing. It's like, it's a double-edged sword at this point.
I agree with you, but I would say this. You know what? I agree with Pacheco and like Pacheco. There was a run last game where he actually got like 10 or 11 yards. It was a good run, but it was they were in the red zone. There was a second quarter.
Yeah, the one with Simmons. Yeah,
bro. If he goes outside, he walks in the end zone.
Right.
Like, and that's like it's the easiest run in the world for an NFL running back, bro. Just go outside. It's a touchdown. Like you're in the end zone, and he just cut it up inside and slammed into a linebacker, and then they ended up kicking a field goal. Like. That's a 4-point mistake. Like you have to see that. And that's the problem. Look, Isaiah Pacheco is a tough runner. He's a hard runner, but he has no vision. He just can't see. Like he has no vision. And Kareem Hunt actually has some vision, but he can't run. He's not fast.
He can't do it. He can't act on it. Right.
If you combine the two of them, Hall of Fame. But unfortunately, still working on that human technology. But see, this is why, like to me, and you and I have had this conversation about other positions, then play the young guy.
Right.
Play him. What is the worst thing that's going to happen? He's going to slam into the back of Suamataia. The Chiefs do that 12 times a game anyway. Like, play him. I'm not saying bench Pacheco and Hunt for the rest of the time. Give that kid 15 carries in this game and see what he does. Like, I just don't understand their constant fear. And that's the one position. The Chiefs can't even do their whole, like, well, he's got to learn the system. No, he doesn't. Hey, hit the B gap.
Yeah. Okay,
cool. Like how hard is that? He's played football. The guy has a functioning brain. Like hit the B gap, do it. That's the frustration I have with it. And also too, like you're right for the most part. Like Andy doesn't like running the ball, but Andy ran the ball and had Jamal Charles. Andy ran the ball and had Kareem Hunt. Like I understand they don't have Jamal Charles or like in his prime Kareem Hunt. I get it, but like Brashard Smith might suck. Brashard Smith might be really good.
Don't know.
Who the hell knows? God knows they don't know. Because they won't play him. So that's where I do get frustrated with this. Also, especially early on in the game when Philadelphia's expecting them to throw the ball like crazy. Do you know how many yards they get just by the fact that Philadelphia probably over-pursue their rush lanes and Chiefs could just run right by them? Like, that's another thing, by the way, because it's an extension of the run game. They never do, and they used to do this all the time. They used to have the best version of this in the NFL, and they never do it anymore. Do they know they're allowed to run a screen pass?
Yeah.
And I don't mean some bullshit out to like Tyquan Thornton that takes an hour to develop. Like Smith is a former receiver. Put him in the backfield, swing the ball out to him behind a pulling Humphrey and a pulling Smith and let them go.
Right.
Like they have like this aversion to ever doing that. I don't know what their problem is with it. when they had Alex Smith, they had the best screen game in football. They were awesome at it.
Yeah.
Like, to the point that, like, Sean McVay would copy it week in and week out. Like, and then they just completely went away from it because they could throw down the field. And it's like, I understand that. You have no rights. You have no worthy. Try something.
Right.
Instead of just sitting there and slamming your head into the wall and throwing a Brownlee on a 3rd and goal on the biggest play in the game, like, on a fade route. Like, try something different. They're going to have to win this game.
It's going to be interesting, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Defensive side of the ball, look, I mean, the Eagles' offense necessarily didn't really even look all that good either. Like, it was not a great performance.
They were terrible.
Right. It was not a great performance. And look, let's not act like the Chiefs' defense look like world beaters out there either. They did play the run pretty well against the Chargers. The Chargers knew that they could take advantage of the pass rush in the secondary. So they just threw the ball a lot more than I think a lot of people anticipated for. But I do think that's going to be what the area that this is going to be made. Like this matchup when the Eagles have the ball is like, this is how the Chiefs are going to need to get an advantage on this side of things if they want to try to give themselves an opportunity to win this game. Because, man, it was not a great showing for a lot of the defensive line out there, especially in the pass rush. George Karlaftis had struggled to win his one-on-one matchup against an offensive line that wasn't necessarily a highly touted offensive line. You didn't have anyone outside of Chris Jones. Like, I know that we're killing Chris Jones for that late decision on it. There's a little bit of responsibility. I mean, we talked about this a little bit. There's a little bit of responsibility of like, why are you putting Chris Jones in that situation to go keep contained when he was the only guy, winning?
Mike Dana contain him.
Yeah, like Chris Jones was the only guy winning all night, and you're gonna put him out there to do outside contain. So like, that's a little bit of a head scratcher. But there's been some head scratching decisions on the defensive side of the ball, with especially personnel wise, as we keep continuing to see them do the same thing over and over. It feels maddening, Matt. When you talked about the Tamari Connor experience, you talked about some of the things that they just keep doing over and over. It's like, it seems maddening. Of just like, hey, how about throw anyone else out there and see if the results change?
I think at some point for the Chiefs, you've got to reckon with the fact that, like, look, Jones is the only game changer you have in your front seven. Nick Bolton's fine in certain instances, and he's terrible in others. Like, everybody else in the front seven is a guy outside of Karlaftis. Karlaftis is a good player. Karlaftis, I think, weirdly kind of gets put in this thing of like, oh, well, he's not really that good. No, he's a pretty good player. Like, Karlaftis is better than just an average player. Karlaftis is a good football player. He's not great, but he's good.
Yeah.
Their problem is, like, Karlaftis doesn't consistently dominate one-on-ones. He wins them here and there, but he doesn't dominate them.
Yeah.
Jones dominates every one-on-one he has for the most part, and will even dominate two-on-ones at times. Like, the guy's just a freak show. That's why he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. But they, like I said earlier in this game, I would blitz the hell out of Hurts in this game. I don't care. I would come after him the entire game, and I would tell Connor, you're a deep safety in this thing. I don't care. I would play McDuffie in the slot, and I would play Watson and Fulton outside, and I would tell those corners, look, I don't care if you get a couple penalties early in the game, mug them the whole game.
Yeah,
just get physical as hell. If they call you for illegal contact on 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line, fine, whatever. Yeah. I don't care. They're not going to call all game. They're not going to throw 20 flags. Like, be ultra aggressive, because Goddard may or may not even play in this game for the Eagles. He's hurt right now. I think he has a sprained knee, I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't practicing on Wednesday. If Goddard doesn't play in this game, they've got two guys who they can throw the ball to.
Right. Right.
I'm serious. I'd double both of them with the safeties. I'd let McDuffie be on a total island one-on-one.
Yeah.
I'd double both the other guys every play I possibly could. And I'd be, go ahead, beat me. Do it. I'm bringing nonstop pressure with the linebackers. Like, Nick Bolton, every time he's out there on a passing down, should just blitz.
Yeah.
Can't cover anybody. Just blitz.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Like, there's an old story. You're wearing a Giants jersey. And
I am.
I've shared this before. Like, there's a famous story. Lawrence Taylor, as a rookie, 1981 with the Giants. So Bill Parcells wasn't the head coach yet. He was the defensive coordinator.
Right.
And they're playing the Cardinals, who were in St. Louis at the time. In any event, they're in St. Louis playing the Cardinals. 3rd down comes up. Lawrence Taylor blitzes, sacks the quarterback. Comes off the field. Parcells is looking at him. He's like, "What are you doing?" Taylor's like, "What?" He's like, you screwed up the defense. You're not supposed to be blitzing." He's like, "Oh, all right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I was supposed to drop the coverage. Right. Sorry." Right. Comes off the field. Next drive, they go out there. Third down comes up. Call the defense again. Taylor blitzes again. This time doesn't just sack Neil Lomax. Strip sacks him. Giants run in for a touchdown. Comes off the field. Parcells is like, "What are you doing?" So right. "I did it again, right?" He's like, "Yeah, you did it again. We don't even have that in our playbook." He's like, "Well, you ought to put it in because it's great." Like, I mean, I just feel like at some point you've got to use these guys to their strength. Bolton's good against the run. Mm-hmm. He's a good blitzer. Like, if he's on the field on 3rd and 6, the Chiefs should be screaming on the field, "He's coming! He's blitzing!" Like it should be like everyone in the world should know it. Like Bolton should be charging like a matador, just like like a bullet. Jones could have like a red towel and he's just waving it in front of the center. Like they shouldn't even hide that they're bringing everyone. I want to see Spags coming on a corner blitz. Like, I want him just like leaking in from the perimeter and then just boom, like off of Mailata's right side. Like they need to be aggressive because if they sit back in this game and Jones is blocked and double teamed and Karlaftis is erased by one of their great tackles and you're waiting on Derek Nottie to get home, boy, I got bad news. He's not getting there, and somebody's going to get open after the 13 seconds Hurts has to throw the football. Like, you've got to go after him. You got to be aggressive.
So last thoughts on this game before we take our break. We got to take a timeout. Oh, we do. It's just the beauty of the beast here. Since we talked on Monday, how has your temperature changed in this game? Has your temperature changed towards the Chiefs? Has your temperature changed more towards the Eagles? Because I remember when we first talked about it, it was like, man, I don't know how this team beats the Eagles. But for me, as the week's gone along, I see a little bit more ways for the Chiefs to beat the Eagles than I initially did. I don't know how your temperature is going into this one.
I think the Eagles deserve to be favored in the game.
I would agree. Yeah.
If I had to pick who's going to win, usually who's winning, I'd pick Philadelphia. Because I just think right now the Chiefs, if the Chiefs had Worthy, I'd probably pick Kansas City. If they had Worthy and Rice, I would definitely pick Kansas City.
Right.
But man, I guess for me it comes down to, are they going to do something different? If they do something different, I think there's a lot of paths for them to win the game. If they go into this game and they just try to slam their head into a brick wall doing all the same stuff they keep doing, then they're going to lose. You're not winning this game by throwing 100 times to Juju for 8 yards. You're just not. Not saying you can't throw to him occasionally. That's fine. He had a good game against the Chargers, to be fair to him. He played well. But, you need to be able to slow down this rush. You need to be able to create space in the secondary. And if they're going to go into this game and Andy's play sheet is like the Cheesecake Factory menu for the passing, and then 3 little lines for the run game.
Right.
I don't think it matches up against Philadelphia. I think you can do that with a lot of teams. I don't think against Philadelphia that's going to work.
That's a great point. We'll see how it all shakes out. They'll be at Arrowhead Stadium for the first time this year. And calling all Chiefs fans, you could be on the field at the 50 inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. You can visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pregame coin toss. Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's take a timeout. We'll be back on the other side to talk about what all else is going on in the NFL heading into week 2. Chiefs.
Looking for tickets for your next event? Tickets for Less is your #1 source. Save big on every purchase when you use promo code KCSN at ticketsforless.com.
Just a short drive from Kansas City. Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. Tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
What's up, guys? I'm BJ Kissel, founder and CEO of KC Sports Network, and I'm here to talk to Kansas City businesses. If you rely on technology, you need an IT support team that's not just another vendor, but a true IT partner. That's why I want to introduce you to my friend and neighbor, KJ Miller. He is a VCIO at ThrottleNet, the Midwest's highest rated and most reviewed IT support company. They've been in business for more than 25 years, helping companies stay secure, productive, and ahead of the curve. They aren't just IT support, but they provide data security, IT strategy, and cloud software services. They do it all, and their reviews show they do it better than anyone else. So if you want to hear about how ThrottleNet can help your local business, join the conversation with myself, KJ Miller from ThrottleNet, and our resident genius from KC Sports Network when it comes to IT, at least as he's affectionately known by us, Mr. Craig Stout. Click the link in the description to hear how ThrottleNet can help you.
What's good, everyone? It is KCSN betting analyst Benny Heiss. You know, something hit me as I was driving to the Missouri side, ironically, for something not available on the Kansas side. I cross over. I just can't get over how long sports fans in the state of Missouri have been waiting. It feels like forever. Good news is you don't have to wait much longer because DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is finally coming to the Show Me State. And if you're thinking, yeah, but I got to wait on the sidelines until December 1st, it's not true. You can sign up right now. And when we go live, new Missouri customers get $300 in bonus bets just for placing a $5 bet. $5. That's not even as much as a pumpkin spice latte that's going to take over. So it's not some ragtag sports, but this is DraftKings. You got live in-game betting. So if your team starts hot, you can jump in mid-play. There's lightning fast payouts. None of that wait 3 days for your money nonsense. And you've got more ways to get in on the action. There's no better way to start. It's all from your phone. When we go live, you'll be betting with a sportsbook trusted by millions, safe, secure, fast withdrawals, everything you want. Well, except maybe a guarantee that your team will cover the spread, but that part's still on you. So here's the move. You download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use code KCSN, and when we go live December 1st, that $5 bet turns into $300 in bonus bets. That is code KCSN in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus and physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after they are issued. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
I'm Brett Goodwin, one of the owners of The Learning Tree. The Learning Tree is a neighborhood toy store in Prairie Village, Kansas. This has been here in this location since 2000s, and my husband Alan and I purchased the store in 2023. Alan and I grew up in families where we've always wanted to have a business together. Alan grew up, for instance, his parents had a jewelry store. I worked in a local toy store here in Prairie Village when I was growing up. When this opportunity happened in 2023, we knew right away we wanted to contact them and pursue the store. We wouldn't have been able to get the store without the team at Emprise Bank. From the day we contacted them, they knew what we needed to do, which was very helpful. I would absolutely recommend the team at Emprise Bank to anyone looking to secure a business. We worked with Emprise from day one. They were extremely helpful. They were always great resources. We talk to them frequently. They know the area. They're very friendly. We know who we're going to talk with, and they know what we need to do. We hope we'll see you at the Learning Tree.
Matt, I think we got to talk about the Niners because what is going on in San Francisco? Brock Purdy is going to be out 2 to 5 weeks with the turf toe variant, according to this article here on NFL.com. The Niners are going to be starting Mac Jones. George Kittle was placed on the IR with his, I believe it was a hamstring injury. You go into the IR with a hamstring injury. Jawan Jennings, I think, is also hurt, so they're going to be really relying on Sky Moore and MVS. I think MVS wasn't active last week, but Sky Moore and MVS are probably going to have to be a big-time feature in this offense for McCorkle Jones. And boy, howdy, they've just had a slew of injuries. That's not even counting like the preseason ones that they had. But this is just in 1 week of football.
It's honestly, it's unbelievable how beat up they are after one game.
Yeah.
Kittle's gone for at least a month. Purdy might be gone for a month. Mac Jones, hello. Jake Moody's not like ever coming back.
Yeah, Jake Moody got cut.
They were like, we've seen enough of Jake Moody, which I got to say, like understandably, he was terrible last year.
Bad, yeah.
But you know what kills me with that? They had the entire offseason to fix that, and like, that's all right. And then watch them in a game, and like, no, it's not too far.
Yeah,
like,
right.
where the hell were all you guys? Like, was no one evaluating any of this?
Yeah.
I never understand teams that do stuff like that. Like, Jake Moody sucked last year.
Yeah.
This isn't some news flash. He's not good. Like, I don't, whatever. Anyway, the Niners have one thing going for them, man. Their schedule's a joke.
Yep.
That's the thing going for them. Their schedule's super easy because it feels like this is with the Niners based on injury history. Like, this could just be the start of this for this team.
Mm-hmm.
McCaffrey's hurt all the time. Trent Williams is 36 years old. Like, look, that's what happens when you have the oldest team, or one of the oldest, Washington's the oldest team, one of the oldest teams in football, year in and year out. The Niners were the oldest team in football last year.
Yeah.
And like, now you're sitting there, obviously Ayuk's still rehabbing off the ACL.
Yep.
It's Pearsall and it's Jennings and it's Mac Jones and it's a whole lot of McCaffrey if he can stay healthy. Like,
Well, yeah.
I mean, let's put it this way. They got the Saints this week, which feel pretty good about that.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I did not see them as a playoff team coming into the year, and nothing has changed my mind.
What I think is really funny is after Christian McCaffrey's calf scare, Kyle Shanahan said 31 touches. You're all we got, Christian. We need you. Your
My brother in Christ. Take the ball and run with it.
Oh, insane. Other injury front, Cowboys' Deron Bland could miss a couple weeks, too, with the foot injury, as if they needed another defensive...
Having to practice, no less.
Yeah, it did happen in practice. That is a very strange one. Cowboys, look, I know we talked about it. I was mildly impressed with, like, I thought the Cowboys were a little bit better than I anticipated them to be. I think their defense could be better. They put up a fight against Philly, which I don't think really anyone anticipated them to put up a fight against Philly, but they just keep getting those injuries with Deron Bland. That's going to be a tough one for them.
That is a tough one. That is a tough one. Look, he is he's a good player.
Mm-hmm.
And again, schedule. Good news for them is they play the Giants this week, which I don't know if you happen to catch the Giants-Commanders game.
Yeah, I do.
The Chiefs may not see Russell Wilson in week 3. I don't know why. The Chiefs should be personally calling the Cowboys, like, look, we don't care if you win, but make him look good.
Yeah.
He was so bad against Washington. It was borderline painful. Like, he can't run. He can't throw. He doesn't even try to throw inside the numbers. Like, it's like 8 moon balls a game, just praying he hits 2 of them. Like,
right.
It's so bad. It's unbelievable. Like, it was so bad that, like, Neighbors and Dable were yelling at each other like a quarter of the season. It's just like, we can't win with this guy. Like, I know he's tough. But yeah, look, without Bland, the Cowboys, like, they need their corners to hold up because they traded Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
That's not great for your pass rush. So, yeah, without Bland, that secondary all of a sudden becomes a lot weaker. Now you avoid Diggs, and you feel like here's a whole big heap and help at Kyrie Elam. So, good luck to them. Yeah. Kyrie Elam against Russell Wilson is the matchup that we didn't know he needed, but we all need to live for. I might chart that for a column for a shot. Like, here's the worst matchup you've ever witnessed. Let's see how it plays out. And whoever loses that matchup has to retire instantly.
Yeah.
I feel like that's fair. Like, if Russ doesn't win that matchup, he is barred from the Hall of Fame. Not just getting in the Hall of Fame, but even being allowed to enter.
To visit. Yeah.
Like, you are no longer allowed in the building for the crimes you've committed against the sport. I am looking forward to that game.
What I thought was really interesting, we have a couple homecoming games this week. This is actually the first time that Joe Flacco has been back in Baltimore since his departure. And I told that to you before we started the show. I was kind of surprised by that. I mean, it's been 11 years and 6 seasons away from the Ravens.
Yeah.
And he has not been back in Baltimore to play a game until this week, as his Browns will go take on the Ravens. How funny would it be if the Browns won?
Oh, hilarious. I got to be honest, though. I feel like this is like 38-3 in the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be close.
I mean, I watched the Browns play the Bengals, and I got to be fair. The Browns really kind of kicked their ass.
Mm-hmm.
but it just didn't matter because the Browns can't hit a field goal or an extra
Right, they don't have a
point.
kicker. Yeah, so that's tough.
Another team, by the way, like what he's not evaluating him, like you put him over in the special teams field all summer, and you're like, it's fine.
They had a kicking competition.
Dustin Hopkins took a good kicker. We don't need that guy. We have Andre Schmidt.
I don't know who he is. Yeah,
His family wouldn't admit to knowing who he is after that game. Look, it's like I think the Browns defensively will hang in some games this season.
Yeah.
Which is why I thought, like, I remember we talked about, I think they're better than the Saints for that reason alone.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, man, this feels like the kind of game where Baltimore's up, like, early, and it's a Joe Flacco show.
Yeah.
That's not a show Cleveland wants to see. Like, especially after what happened with Baltimore in week 1. Yeah. I feel like tough spot for Cleveland. Like, really tough spot. I'm actually kind of curious to see what the Jets do at Buffalo because, like, I think Buffalo's going to win that game.
Right.
Do the Jets hang another 30 burger on somebody?
I mean, they looked kind of good.
Like, that's kind of a point. Like, because the Jets offensively were actually good in that game.
Well, the Bills' defense isn't very good either.
Did the Bills' defense go 8.6 yards per play against Baltimore?
Oh my god!
I mean, like that's like I totally, and we talked about this already, so I won't belabor the point. But
yeah,
I totally understand any Bills fan who's just absolutely over the moon after that game. Like,
yeah, 100%.
If I was a Bills fan, I would have been too.
Yeah.
But there's also like the flashing Chernobyl red light in the background of that game. Like, did you see that defense? Like, and anybody out there who's like, hold on, it's the Ravens. Yeah, that's nice. I don't care who you're playing. It's 8.6 yards per play. Like,
yeah,
even adjusted for the opponent, that was a ridiculous game. They had 4 runs over 30 yards in that game. You have most teams not give up that in the season.
The Chiefs have two rushes of 20-plus yards in the last 411 attempts, by the way.
Good. Were they both by Mahomes?
Probably. I think those are running back runs, but yeah.
I mean, oh, my God. Like,
yeah.
But I am curious. Like, I think the Bills are going to win that game. I'm curious to see, though, if the Jets light them up and the Bills win like 34-31. Because I think if you're a Bills fan, that would be a lot less exciting and acceptable. Like, if we're like, we beat the Jets, but like we also gave up 470 yards of offense to Justin Fields.
Yeah.
That would feel a little bit more concerning. Whereas if like they hold them to 13 points, then you're like, all right, maybe it was just a crazy game and whatever. It's hard to tell week 1 because there's a lot of variables we just don't know yet.
We thought the Saints were a good football team after week 1 last year.
After week 2, people were writing like fan fiction to Clint Kubiak. I remember reading an article comparing them to the 99 Rams and being like, is this the greatest offense we've seen in 25 years? And then they just sucked the entire rest of the year. Like, it got to a point they were benching everybody. Guys got hurt. It was just a calamity. Yeah, like, that is one thing I would definitely say. Listen, even if the Chiefs lose this game on Sunday, like, it is a long season.
Very much so.
And they can lose this game and finish like 12-5, and no one's going to care. And then you're going to be going to the playoffs like, they got Rice, they got Worthy. We're scoring 33 points a game with those two guys. And like, nobody's going to care.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to go up to Buffalo and be like, let's shut down the Ralph. Like it's going to be a whole, it's a long season. The thing that kills you now are injuries. Like the Niners, what's going on there, that kills you.
Yeah.
So, we shall see.
We will. We will see. The other homecoming I saw was Falcons are going to the Vikings on Sunday Night Football. Kirk Cousins' homecoming. He's not going to play. So that's awkward.
It'd be really funny if they put him up on the Jumbotron.
Thank you, Kirk.
A bunch of Minnesotans who are like too nice to boo or just kind of golf clapping the whole thing, Yeah, it's like, he did make a nice throw once on 3rd and 11.
Thanks.
Whereas like if that was in New York, somebody would throw like just like a cherry bomb from the upper deck, That's what I think. Yeah. So good times.
Yeah. Any games that you got your eyes on that we haven't hit on already, Matt? I mean, loaded slate. Obviously, we're now to the regular. We have 2 Monday night games this week, with a divisional game with Chargers Raiders, a Monday night game as well. Any other games that you got your eyes on?
Not really. I mean, Jacksonville, Cincinnati's kind of interesting. Like,
Yeah.
Jacksonville played well against Carolina, but Carolina, like Bryce Young looked like that, like second half surge was not sustainable. Apparently, he was awful. But I'll give you actually the game I'm really looking at is Denver and Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Indianapolis beat the absolute piss out of Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Miami has not exactly looked like a tower of power all season.
Right.
And so that, like, but in Denver, like, Bo Nix was horrendous.
He was bad, man.
You could make a real argument Bo Nix was the worst quarterback in the league week 1.
Ooh.
You really could, man. Like, I haven't looked like QBR and all that shit, but like, just like watching the games, you could make a really, really compelling argument he was the worst quarterback in the league. Like, I mean, Tua is probably the answer.
It wasn't fun to watch. Tua is 2.7 QBR. Cam Ward is 7.3 QBR. Bo Nix at 19.2 QBR. But 2 of the 3 quarterbacks were in the same game.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Like, oh, whoa. Like, yeah. I mean, Bo Nix. You'd have to say he played better than Tua. Cam Ward, he played better. But all I gotta say, Tennessee dropped like 8 passes in that game
For sure. Yeah.
And also, like Cam Ward is a rookie in his first start going against a really good defense at Mile High. Like,
yeah.
Bo Nix is going against the Titans.
Who we established you can't name 3 players on the
Correct.
defense outside of L'Jarius Sneed.
Like, and so like, that's where I look at this and go, all right, yeah, sure, fine and well, whatever. But like, adjusted for opponent, Knicks had like the easiest assignment of anybody.
Yeah.
And was horrendous. It wasn't like where Flacco had 2 picks, but like they both bounced off receivers' hands. Like, Knicks just made horrendous decisions. You're like, okay, that's correct. And then he also lost the fumble, like as if the 2 turnovers like weren't enough. Hit a 3rd one there. Yeah, I don't know, man. Also, I will say, I don't know, and this is just a little quick thought, but I have seen all these charts the nerds put out about quarterback play.
Yeah.
And Mahomes has been like ranked low in these things. I'm like, did anyone watch the game?
Yeah, right.
Mahomes was out there doing like magic tricks for about 2.5 quarters. And people are like, yeah, but he missed that one swing pass.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they almost see, and also like, even to be very, I think it was just a Mahomes thing. Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen were also in like the lower left quadrant for like some of these charts.
Right.
I mean, I got to tell you, if you watched week 1 and those 3 guys are in the lower left quadrant, which by the way, one of the charts had Burrow in the top right.
Good
like,
Lord.
Bro, take your formula and light it on fire. Like, immediately seek help. Burrow was horrendous in that game.
Yeah.
Threw 113 yards on 4.9 yards per attempt. And then people like these nerds are like, yeah, but did you see the way he threw that out route? Like, that's great. He stunk. What? Yeah, so I got a lot of thought. One of these days we got to have one of the nerds on. Just really sweet.
We do. Charts from the nerds really got me. One of the charts the nerds put out did get a pop out of me. That's pretty funny. Because they do. Look, those nerds love their charts, man. They love tweeting out those charts, dude.
I mean, it's like, a night out with someone who's very attractive or a pie chart about Caleb Williams. I'll tell you what gets me just really riled up for the weekend. Pie chart, baby. Here's what he did against cover 3 on a Tuesday. Like, guess what? I don't give a shit. I watched the game. He sucked. Like, I don't need to have this like weird revisionist, like, well, if you actually look at it, like, right. He was terrible. Like, do you have eyes?
Yeah.
Did they work? Like, did you watch? Like, I don't need somebody to tell me Herbert was great Friday night. I don't need somebody to tell me that Mahomes was also really good in that game. Like, what world do you live in? Or like Josh Allen, like people are like, well, actually, he really wasn't great in that game. So I got to tell you, there was 251 yards in the 4th quarter. I'm thinking he was pretty good. Meanwhile, like I got to listen to these like, Caleb Williams stands. They're like, well, it's not his fault he's inaccurate. They didn't run the ball enough. Like, no, that has nothing to do with him throwing the ball and hitting a light pole. Like,
it's
he
so bad.
Hit the receiver and the numbers and stuff. It's just, those people are the worst. They're the people that convince everybody in the world, running backs, whatever. They don't, how's that going?
Yeah.
Like, do not buy the charts.
Mm-hmm.
There are like 2 or 3 of them that are legit. The rest of those things are made up bullshit that people just have. Like, I came up with this formula once when I wasn't going out with somebody. Great. Congratulations. You should have gone out with your friends. You should have hung out with somebody. You should have went out and just hung out. I mean, I'm sorry, it's true. Like, I'm not even talking about a date. I mean, just go out with a person. Like, take a walk. Go get a burger. Do anything. Hold on, I can't go out. I'm in Gino's 21st in the stat I made up. Like, go do something.
That's going to do it for this Friday edition of That Football Show. Appreciate everybody listening all the way to the end of the podcast. We'll be back Sunday night, or well, I guess Monday morning for you guys, recapping week 2 and hopefully Chiefs victory. So for Matt Verderame and Tucker Franklin, thank you to our partners Ben Holiday, Bald and Bond Bourbon for making this program possible. That's going to do it. We'll talk to you guys on Monday. We'll see ya.